Welcome to the Menopausal Women Show for nutrition, health, and wellness. I am Michelle, and as a nutrition and wellness coach, I work with menopausal women to transform their hormone health and well-being to achieve the life they want to achieve. On this podcast, I share research findings on hot topics, talk with other holistic healers, and share my own experience to empower women to take steps to a better lifestyle. Now, this week is a solo episode because do you know something? I'm going to be absolutely honest with you. I'm going to share the mistakes I made in the menopause before I took some positive actions. So get a pen and paper, okay? Make sure you're plugged in and start making notes so you don't make the same mistakes as me. Now, don't know whether or not this relates to you. You could be at the start of the perimenopause or you're halfway through the menopause. But at the time of me starting perimenopause, I was still a full-time, and I am now, full-time working mum, juggling a job. I've got kids. I've got kids' clubs. I've got my own exercise. I've got my socializing and everything else in between. Do you really think that any of us at this age have even time to go to the loo? Right. No, that is the honest answer. No, we are way too busy. So do you really think at the start of the perimenopause for me, I took any notice of any of my symptoms and feelings? Well, that was mistake number one. Okay. Don't ignore your symptoms. Please. For many women, this is the most common mistake. Simply ignoring the symptom or dismissing it. Okay, let's just recap. What are some of the symptoms? Tiredness, sore joints, brain fog, emotions, mood swings, okay, feeling like you're losing it. And I generally, at the time of starting perimenopause, okay, I thought my tiredness was just down to doing too much. My sore joints was down to training. My memory loss was just down to the fact that I had way too much in my brain. Does any of this resonate with you? Does it sound familiar? Have you just then decided that you go, oh, well, I'm dismissing all my symptoms, the hot flushes, everything else, because it's just being part of aging? Let's get real here. Come on, I'm being real with you. Let's get real. Okay? We just dismiss it. Now, we have to remember that the menopause is a natural process. And for many women, including myself, it can be deliberating on several levels. And this is where I think us as individuals, us in the community, we need to raise awareness, ensure that women understand that you don't have to suffer in silence. Symptoms like hot flashes, mood swings, and insomnia, particularly the sleep, have significant impacts on the quality of our lives. And I know, and it's still raw in my memory, just the mood swings were wrecking my family relationships. One minute I'd be fine, the next minute I would just absolutely blow my lid. Okay, with my husband, with my kids. Then I would cry, and they just didn't know where the boundaries were. Now, I've shared on previous podcasts, so if you are a new listener, welcome, but do go back, have a look. Many ways we can manage symptoms of the menopause, and that's me all over. Okay, this is what I do. So we include looking at nutrition and foods that serve our bodies. We look at sleep routines, okay, and how best can it serve you. We look at journaling, exercise, meditation, other holistic therapies. We've had lots of other holistic therapies on here. So if you are experiencing any symptoms of the menopause, just reach out to healthcare providers, support group, and other holistic coaches. Just don't suffer on your own in silence. So, what was mistake number two? Is not actually put myself first. So, not only am I running around like a headless chicken and I ignore my symptoms, but I also really believed I had no time in my life for anything at all. I was way too busy. I had work, I had training, I had the kids, and yes, clearly, like we all want to be, is the whole super mum, okay, where I look like I'm holding it all together, that everything's seamless. So like, if you know me by now, and this is why I've got into this, and this is why I love what I do. If I don't understand something, I research it and then I get qualified in it. And actually, with the research into the menopause, because it bowled me over so quickly, it literally came in like that. It was highly recommended to take on self-care, had a lot of research, scientific research to back up. So journaling, meditation, and implementing a sleep routine. And I'm going, yeah, where am I going to get 30 minutes in my day? Yeah, those symptoms just kept on coming, kept on coming. I could not ignore what was happening to me. The effects and the symptoms, particularly the emotions, the anxiety, the tiredness, it's it was just liberating. And I suppose really what we're trying to say is us women are strong figures. We're strong figures for our family, okay, for our husbands, for our friends. We are strong leading figures. And at the end of the day, you've got to go, okay, look at your roles, your different roles that you're, utilizing throughout the life. And you go, if you're not okay, how could you be there for anybody else? It's as simple as that. I wasn't okay. I couldn't be there for my children, couldn't be there for my husband, couldn't be there for my job, couldn't perform better. And so at the end of the day, things had to change. And I suppose what I'm now starting to get known for is always start with just one thing. Always just start with one action. Okay, one small baby step. Start with that, build it up, get it into a habit, okay, get it into your daily routine, and move on from there. So what was my first one that I decided to do was my sleep routine. Now, people are just like, yeah, you get more sleep, it's fine. But no, actually, it's a lot more than that. So the first thing I did was I've got an iPhone. I'm sure they've got it on Android as well, but I've got an iPhone and they have a do not disturb function after a certain time. So I activated that to give me enough time because scrolling on your phone before going to bed doesn't help you. Makes you more anxious, could be, you know, it's not giving you the digital detox. So it went off at a certain time. Then I started to implement the small baby changes like kids, right? I know you're still up. Right, I'm going to start my bedtime routine. So can you like tone down the noise a bit? And I would start taking off my makeup, winding down, spending, say, 5 minutes just journaling, thinking about what's happened that day, what's been good, what's been bad. And then I started to go, well, I need something, a release. And I remember when I was doing my degree in physio, I just immersed myself in Harry Potter and it was great. So it's again reading to take you out into a different world or learning something new so that you can improve. My mantra is I need to be 1% better than I was yesterday. And I suppose really what the impact of me doing that was that I actually was less anxious. Um, I had a chance to really collect my thoughts. I had a chance to go, actually, I'm really knocked at my kids, but why are they acting up like they're doing? Or I'm really angry with something, or I just actually sat with those emotions and actually allowed me to be me. And it cleared my head so that I was going to go to sleep, so that actually I had good night's sleep. And then I was waking up 8 hours later, more energy, and a clear mind to start the following day. And what's recently dawned on me, and I had the conversation the other day with Harry in the car, because he was like, "Oh yeah, you go to bed early," and I was like, "Well, actually, it's my self-care. I go to sleep a bit earlier than I would normally, but it's my self-care, and I believe that I'm setting a good example for my children because they are coming up in a very digital world." And that can be destroying to their mental health. So actually, by doing some of these self-care practice, and just saying, well, actually, you've got to think about stopping your screen time before you go into bed. Just think about reading a book and just, taking some time out means that they get better sleep, they will feel better, and then they will be able to have better relationships. So just by doing those small baby steps isn't just for me and my menopause symptoms. Those baby steps can be applicable to everybody. So that's mistake number two, was actually, first of all, ignoring the symptoms, but then not actually planning out any time to address them. Now, the third one, you hopefully you're not too shy. My third mistake was abandoning sex. Yep, I've said it. I abandoned sex. One of the most excruciating symptoms for me in perimenopausal was the vaginal dryness. And this made everything so less enjoyable. I'd lost all interest, okay? And I lost my libido. And I really did for many, many months. It felt like years. It was all down for me. It was me. I wasn't functioning as a woman. There was no reason for it. And little did I know the hormonal changes during the early stages of perimenopause could have such a significant impact on how comfortable or enthusiastic I felt about sex. I felt overwhelmed. I felt useless. I started to withdraw from my husband. We went from being the fact that we've been together 23 years, from having fun and a great time to, oh my God, this is just such a chore. I'm so not enjoying it. And this was impacting my own sexual confidence and my body confidence because I didn't trust my body. It wasn't performing. I didn't like it. I didn't want to look at it. And body confidence, I think, is a big thing for us many women, not just in a sexual way, but is a big thing because it does go through a lot of changes. So it's some women do experience belly fat, and that we will come on to in another episode. But I think I just felt disgusted, really disgusted. I wasn't performing what we perceive as the role as a woman. And how could he love me? How can your husband love you if I didn't love myself? And with all these challenges, how can they be understanding? And so again, it wasn't until I started my research and understanding the menopause better that I could have an honest conversation with him. He didn't know what was going on. I thought he was going to leave because, I wasn't performing properly. But when I explained to him about the changes that was happening, we developed perhaps a more profound understanding, and he became more aware of my needs. And obviously, we took some of the recommendations, experimented with different methods and aids. And over time, we are starting to become more intimate. And again, our relationship stronger. And it's again recognizing and sharing and speaking out about what's happening to you and going, okay, it's not all about what you see or perceive to be the textbook life of, rampant sex and everything else. It's about the intimacy. So we did become stronger, but that was my third mistake. I abandoned sex. Now, my fourth mistake was all around exercise. Too much, not the right type, and for some of us women, it may be too little. So let's get real here, right? You've heard me, you've seen my pictures on social media. I am a runner, okay, and I have a training regime that is varied. And I started my focus on exercise way before I was menopausal. I actually started it because I had gained weight in my 20s and I wasn't happy. Whole different story. But but mainly now I do it for goals, mental health. Um I'm still a recovering and always will be because I don't think you're ever cured from a disordered eating, from my abusive childhood. And I generally now do exercise for health, health and well-being. But when I hit the menopause, though I was doing all these bits and I was feeling great, when I hit the menopause, the tiredness and the sore joints were absolutely excruciating. And it really had a negative impact on my mental health, especially because I felt like I was not good enough. It never occurred to me at all to review my routine to accommodate my menopausal journey. Um, and I did feel like I wasn't not good enough. I used to be able to get PBs and I felt great. And then as you get older, obviously it's inevitable that some of us get slower. But I just felt I was never good enough, even within my own running community. And so what changes did I do? I added yoga, um, which was menopausal specific yoga, which really helped, actually really helped lubricating the sore joints. I varied my strength sessions, so it wasn't weights all the time, which is power yoga. I reduced some of my running sessions. And then I started had to be kind to myself and not always have that inner critic, that ego going, you're not good enough. And I've now slowly cultivating the sort of like the acceptance that as we get older, things will change. But what you can do is adapt and therefore live a fulfilled life. So over the last few months and a few weeks, I've really had to trust my body and listen to its needs. And this became really, really key when I did the Giant's Head Marathon. Totally outside my comfort zone, totally outside um anything I've done before. The elevation was hard and I had to eat. It was a whole different ball game. And I really had to tune in then because I started having a wobble, thinking, well, this is nothing I've done before. I should be doing this, this, and this. You've got to change that mindset. You've got to pause and go, actually, what is your body telling you? Listen to your body. Your body is talking to you all the time, and it's sending you the signals of what to do best. And so I needed to listen to its needs. And this was something that actually, when it comes to exercise, listen to its needs. Now, word of caution here. Many women have ignored and will ignore exercise due to the tiredness and fatigue. They think all they will be experiencing if they do the exercise other symptoms like sore joints. Okay, so start off with tiredness and fatigue and go, well, I'm already tired and I'm trying to exercise. Now I'm getting sore joints. And think doing any more exercise will exacerbate those symptoms and how they're feeling. But there is a phenomenal amount of research which suggests that due to the change in mood and low mood, decreases women's motivation also decreases, and then the excuse is lack of time. But you really need to consider the options available to you because regular exercise helps maintain good health, okay, at any age, but it is particularly important between menopausal and perimenopausal. Yes, exercise can help with any weight management, but there's loads of other benefits that help with the menopausal symptoms. Starts boosting your mood, okay, helps you to sleep better. It can help, some of the yoga can help with the brain fog, the digestion, the bloatiness. Okay, there is lots of things out there that are not just, oh, let's get on a pair of running trainers or let's go to the gym and bat out a 30-minute HIIT session. Okay, start small. Particularly if you're feeling tired, start small and see what the effects are. So yes, the guidelines say you should do 30 minutes a day, right? But if that's not you at the moment because you go, I'm too tired, I'm not sleeping, okay, get up just 10 minutes earlier and go and walk and then build it up. Keep a diary. How did that make you feel? Has your symptoms improved? But more importantly, particularly now for the UK, the weather is actually looking like coming into summer. Make it fun. Everything in life should be fun and joyful. So include others, include your friends, meet them for a coffee, but you've got to go for a bit of a walk beforehand. Include your kids, right? Let's go for a swim, a bike ride, or a walk with the dogs. Play football, anything, just some movement and fresh air. Vary the type, okay? Do not just think it's one thing. There is lots and lots of different stuff that you can do, and it doesn't have to be expensive. There's so many videos you can do for free on YouTube. There's other like apps that you can get that are totally inexpensive. Walking is free. Remember the COVID days, the pandemic? Couldn't do anything else. Couldn't go anywhere. You didn't have gyms. So what did you do? Most of us walked, okay, or ran, or did something. But just even 10 minutes of star jumps a day. And if you don't do the exercise right, the cost to your health can be very, very expensive. Whereas just a free thing that you're doing on YouTube is nothing. So what was my final mistake? It was around my diet. Yeah. Me, I've been studying diet for 20 odd years now, nutritional therapist. And so it wasn't around my diet being poor because I'm eating ultra processed foods or sugary snacks or not. I was just not eating the right foods to support my menopause, my body, and my symptoms. So before I go into what I did, okay, let's have a quick chat what majority of women from research struggle with when it comes to nutrition. As part of the evolutionary change, many women will experience some weight gain or change in shape. Okay? Many women are suffering the symptoms of brain fog and fatigue. And just to survive on their daily life, will focus on caffeine to get them through the day, or they focus on sugary quick fix to give them a bit more energy. So you've got fatigue, you've got brain fog, you've got a full day ahead of you. You haven't really thought about like fueling your body properly. So you're just going for the quick bagel, okay, or the muffin and the coffee. Then a couple of hours later, it hasn't really served you, so kick in for the next one, right? Or I've got to say the other thing is the emotional swings that we have during the menopause or perimenopause. What do? Okay. We go and eat something that makes us feel good. Is that actually serving us? You know, how many of us, okay, just are sitting there eating a bag of sweets just to make ourselves feel better? All the above that I've just mentioned and the convenience food that we're readily available will contribute to the weight gain, but will equally exacerbate some other than menopausal symptoms that you can or may be experiencing that make them worse. So when I started to go, well, hang on a minute, I seem to be eating a lot, but I'm still not like I'm still suffering. What did I do? Research other cultures. What did I find? Japanese and Mediterranean style. Okay, they don't have as many symptoms as we do. So what I'm now going to do is share just a few tips to get you started. First of all, I increased my protein intake for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, and that was not just eating a load more meat, it's through yogurts, legumes, everything else. Protein's not only for muscles, so don't just think because, like I'm a runner, you've got to refuel via protein because it helps repair muscles. Protein is for every single bodily function that we do. That includes your brain function. So it is the building blocks protein. So I increased that and my energy levels went up. Okay. Equally, the protein helps with osteoporosis. And I really felt that, as well as my energy levels, I wasn't suffering brain fog as much. Now, intermittent fasting and weight gain, that's quite like a hot topic, isn't it, really? Hot topic. Yeah, I'm worried about weight gain. Absolutely, I am. And intermittent fasting is something that we can all do. It's very easy to fit into your lifestyle, but it needs to be in a controlled, what I feel controlled manner. So I just do the 12 hours, which has phenomenal benefits for menopausal symptoms because that includes your sleep time. So you're eating a balanced meal, nutritious meal throughout the day. you're having snacks, you're not going reaching for the sugary snacks, you're energizing. And then you go into your sleep routine. So your last meal, say, is about between 7 and 8. Go into your sleep routine. You sleep for 8 hours, you get up, you move for a bit, you start getting ready for work, and then you've reached your 12 hours to have a full nutritious breakfast. And that's quite an easy, quick fix to help with weight gain, intermittent fasting. But again, you will find that if you're eating the right amount of carbs and food groups, the right type of vegetables, okay, and the right type of protein and good fats, and limiting those sugary fruits, and following perhaps more of the Mediterranean style, particularly with the avocados, okay, you will find that you are not hungry, you've got less brain fog, you've got more energy, and you're keeping other chronic diseases at bay. Therefore, you are empowering yourself and your body to manage these menopausal symptoms and move away from those quick fixes. And time again with my clients, they have moved away. They've not gone for the next cup of caffeine just to survive. They felt more vibrant overall. The skin's better, okay, their hair's better, their nails better. So do really look at your nutrition and your food. And that's something that obviously I'm well versed in and can support you with. So generally, what is the conclusions? Okay, I made 5 mistakes. So whether or not you're in perimenopause or in menopause, there's always time to make small changes to avoid some of the mistakes I made. And those mistakes, let's just quickly summarize those mistakes. First of all, ignoring my symptoms. Okay, secondly, laughing at trying to put anything in time. Thirdly, abandoning sex. Fourth, not doing the right sort of exercise. 5, not having the right diet. So be brave and bold and share with others what you are experiencing, and therefore you can increase your awareness and understanding and acceptance that we're all going through this change together. Take notes of what I've done today. Acknowledge just at least one thing from today that you can do differently, and just note to see if that makes it better. Remember, it's a combination. There is no one fix here to fix all. There is not the pill that is just going to take it all away. It is holistic. We have to look at this from the inside and out. So know and accept any support. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't think you have to do the whole lot. Just take one step at a time and know that this is a long journey. Most of us are hoping to live to 80 plus. Okay, if you're now in your 40s, that's a long time. So with everything though that you do, live a joyful and fulfilling life. Do it to make you feel better. Make sure you're having fun. So my friends, I'm hoping that's helped. Okay, 5 simple, very common mistakes I made. 5 simple steps and ideas that I've given you to help combat your journey. But if more importantly, if you take one action away and you want to have a chat with me about your own experience, okay, and get some advice, then book a free, no obligation discovery call with me, and just we can come away armed with a clear plan to start your journey. So hopefully that's helped. And if you're hearing this message, you've listened to the entire episode. And for that, I wish to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I've hoped you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, please leave us a review. Share this episode with others who may be interested in this topic. And until next time, okay, take care.